What charges him up is often what burns you out. If you're an ambitious woman who just wants to be able to lay her head down at nighttime and go to sleep peacefully and deeply without having to fight the urge to open back up the laptop or scroll some more on social media, then you'll want to stick around for this one. I like to call the men's system the line method. What this means is they're very linear in nature, they're very dopamine driven, and they thrive on their 24-hour cycle. That's why things like cold plunging, high intensity interval training, and progressive overload all the time are all things that they thrive with. For the line method, the L stands for logic. Men are really logical and they like linear ways of being. They also like to have problems and challenges because dopamine is correlated with the reward centers of the brain. So they really thrive in these constant activities and constant new milestones to hit. The I stands for intensity. We know men can do HIIT all the time. They can constantly go with progressive overload because they're not experiencing dips in their cycles like we are. So of course they can have more intensity overall. The N stands for next, and that's because they're looking for the next mountain to climb, the next thing that they can reward themselves because they love the reward center of their brains because they love dopamine, right? That feel good whenever you accomplish something. So they're always looking for that next thing to keep furthering dopamine, which is not what women need to do all the time because of our cyclical nature. The E in line stands for effort because they are looking to give their maximum effort because then that means they will get that maximum reward to feed that dopamine drive and that dopamine hit. But women, on the other hand, are not built that way. I like to call us the cycle method. And this is really in tune with the seasons, the moon cycles, and our hormonal fluctuations and menstrual cycle as well. The cycle method stands for connection because we thrive with more intimacy. We need those more oxytocin-based practices like co-regulating and cuddling or snuggling with someone that we love. The Y stands for yield because we need to yield to rest. We need to allow ourselves to deeply rest, to deeply nourish, to just be with ourselves. The C in creation just really stands for us to be able to play, to have some creative self-expression, to really just flow with life and connect to our womb, which is our creative center most of all. The L stands for love, which is really just our need for co-regulation, for safety, and for nourishing relationships and just connection overall. The E stands for energy, which is really just respecting where we're at in our cycle, allowing our energy to just flow, focusing on what nourishes us and fills our cup as opposed to what drains it, and just allow for the activities we do to expand us instead of contract us and make us feel like we need to fit the piece of men. What regulates us most isn't dopamine, it's actually oxytocin. This looks like self-touching, play, intimacy, and oxytocin is also known as a love hormone. Your nervous system needs are not the same as his, and the bottom line is that we need very different things on a biological level for our nervous systems to thrive. So stop burning out trying to regulate like a man and start to regulate like a woman.